Have you ever considered buying a formal gown from TEMU? Well, I certainly hadn't. In fact, I'd never purchased anything from TEMU at all, but boy, had I seen the ads. All right, let me set the stage. I'm searching for unrealistic formals on Pinterest. I know, it's an obsession. I'm working on it. But in the process, I see a TEMU logo. Like, TEMU, this sends me down a little rabbit hole. Can you find decent dresses on TEMU? So I've been getting emails from TEMU for a good month now, and after finding this little gem, I've decided to buy. They wanted to send me a certain dollar amount in merchandise, which is totally customary, but they had the one caveat that no single item could be over $30, and that just wasn't gonna work. So a lot of these dresses fall in like the $30 to $50 range, which is super inexpensive for a formal gown, but really pretty pricey for a TEMU item. So we had some discussions and came to an understanding. So I decided to spend their budget and do a little bit of detective work myself. I ended up ordering a few items on my own to see if the experience varied. And it was all for naught because both items actually came in the same day, like the exact same packaging and no variation. So really nothing to report here. My experiment failed. So what I have are 9 formals from TEMU, all under 50 bucks. We might be here for a while. So I am a firm believer in ordering from size charts. So these vary a little bit. If you're ever looking from any brand that you're not incredibly familiar with, I highly encourage you to order by your measurements and trust the process, and then cross your fingers and really hope that something fits. I believe in you relatively cheap dresses. I decided that after my last video, I needed to raise my basement a little bit because a lot of those dresses that were under $20 just were not it. I'm going to attempt to go in order of price, but no promises because these kind of seem to vary. So I will at least be in the range. Please don't hold me to it. So we're gonna start with number 1 that I lovingly refer to as one-arm glitter. Looks like there are 2 things in the bag, a black sash and a blue gown. This one is in the $25 range. It has a slit. I think it came in a couple different sequin colors. It's like a black base with some blue sequins. Let's see how she does. One-arm glitter totally gives me like disco ball meets Vanna White on New Year's Eve. And for $25, I think this is fantastic. It's got a slit that's not obscenely high, but does show a lot of leg. Now, I do have to say that this side to me feels a little heavy. My husband and daughter thought that they really liked it. It's also almost a little bit shorter than I liked, but nothing that I'm complaining about for $25. I ordered this in a 4X. I typically sit between a 2X and 3X right now. I've been ordering everything in a 3X. I'm a good solid 22 and can fit in the occasional 20 and of course the occasional 24. So this is a 4X, take it as you will. I did my measurements. That's what worked out for me. There is a side zip and it's pretty body contouring, but it doesn't feel like it's just sucking on me. A lot of the ones that I had gotten in that previous order were a material that kind of used your body as a form. They were just incredibly slinky. I tried to go with things that had a little bit more form to them this time. I don't know that I totally succeeded, but we shall see. So one-arm glitter, I think that you're perfectly serviceable. Next we have Long Green. Where does she come up with these names? Brilliant. Long Green is very like a safe dress. It's got lace top. I thought that it was very pretty. And this one I actually ordered in a 5X because the 5X was equivalent to a 22 and I wanted to see the variation and to see how it actually fits on. And I think that I need to stop talking and let's just try her. All right. Long Green has a little bit of a high-low. It has a faux wrap. It looks like it would kind of split open, but it doesn't. This just ends right there at the front. It's incredibly safe, but incredibly practical for a wedding. This would be great for a winter wedding. Heck, it'd be good for a spring wedding. With the color, I was thinking it'd be a great wedding guest dress. I don't know that this is what I would want to wear to a Christmas party. It feels a little bit less festive to me, but it's perfectly serviceable for that. It is really long in the back. I'm 5'10". There's a sweetheart neckline and then the lace is see-through up at the top. Again, I think that she's pretty. Also in a 5X, and grosgrain, so there's some stretch to it, but grosgrain doesn't stretch, and there's, you know what, it folded in half a good inch and a half, I definitely could have sized down. So even though it says 22, I think this could easily extend because there's some good room. And then of course this area and then this down here has a lot of give. This is the one that I was the most excited for. I like to call her Red Pretty. Red Pretty is a pleated dress all the way around. It's got a really low cut, and y'all, I've been calling this a modesty panel. It's not. I have been corrected, and I like to learn and grow. What this is for the structure of the dress. It does help hide my bra at times, but it's got an illusion fabric that helps make that slit deep and keep the boobs where they're supposed to be. I think that we're gonna try on Miss Pretty and see how she does. Okay, so I really want your opinion about this. I was looking most forward to this and one other that we haven't tried on yet. I don't know, I think it feels very Grecian. I love the low back. I've got lots of opinions in my house. I just showed it to my husband and he said that he thought it was really pretty and drapey, a little Grecian, but he didn't know about this in the front. And then my daughter said that she thought that I looked like a lampshade with a boob hole. So I would love to know your opinions on it. I love this shade of red. I think that it makes me feel beautiful and bright. And yeah, there's the back again. It is nice and long, which is a great thing for me. I do like the arms. I think that this is just a fun, elegant boob holey dress. Black Floral is one that I was really, really drawn to. Now it has a super low front, and I don't know, there was just something about the way that it flowed that looked very ethereal to me, like a little fairy garden. And so I am going to try her on. The interesting thing is that while I was looking at this, and this is one that I ordered, it was in stock, then out of stock, then in stock, then out of stock, totally out in my sizes, and the price also vacillated. So there are quite a few of these. Like when I edit the prices on screen, they may not go in order because I'm gonna put the prices the day that I'm editing to give you the most accurate picture, but just know that they are incredibly likely to change, but be within like 10 bucks. So both of these are in the $30, $35 range. I do feel very ethereal. I feel like this would be so nice for a garden party. It would be beautiful for a tea. It would be nice for an afternoon wedding. Now, there are some problems with it too. I'm not gonna get there yet. I really like the embroidery. It feels beautiful. I like the low cut illusion. I think that that's nice. I'm wearing a beige colored bra under here. I don't think that it stands out in any kind of negative way. Here's the back. I can almost look like the picture if I do this, but that's where things go a little bit negative. And what it is this was just the dress that I was looking the most forward to. So because of that, those things that diverge from like my mental expectations are the ones that I really am honing in on. I don't feel like this bells out as much as the picture in the dress, and it might just be that she like pulled it out perfectly and let it go. It may also be like the width of the fabric wouldn't allow for there to be that much difference with waist variations, that type of thing, and I understand. Also, it seems like this fabric, even though it's incredibly similar, the embroidery is not as full as it was on the model. I've looked at it, it's almost the same. We've got the same colors going on. It just felt like where we see stems ending here, I didn't see that going on. It's incredibly nitpicky, but the difference was noticeable to me. And then the final thing, and I ordered this in the largest size. It was a 24X. I don't believe that there was a 5X. It is incredibly tight. This really fits a lot like a US 20. It's very snug. It took both my husband and my daughter and like me doing this and sucking in, pushing, trying to raise my arms over my head, them telling me not to, but it is. It's very, very tight. Now I could still sit in everything because the tightness is right here, but my husband did say that the zippers, he was worried about it, or not making it because it's kind of a cheaper zipper. And then the last thing is down here at the bottom. I'm gonna pick her up. The end is just raw. It's just cut that way. So in the event that this dragged on the ground and you were outdoors, it would not make it for a second wear. Now it's not going to drag on the ground for me because of my height and the shoes that I'm wearing. I just want you to be aware of that. But I do think that it's lovely. Honestly, I haven't had a negative dress yet. This one I like better than the long green, but it disappoints me a little bit more. Next we have high slit black sequin arm. I wonder what this one looks like. High slit black sequin arm totally has a rainbow effect that I was not seeing. I don't know if y'all can see it in the lights. I'm interested. So it's got the sequin arm, and I'm imagining there's a high slit in there. Let's go try her. Okay, this one is a lot of fun. I think it's a little bit like Disco Nefertiti. I don't know, your thoughts? Now, this slit, oh my goodness, it is literally up to the waist. The end of this piece of fabric comes here, and the end of this piece of fabric comes here, and it can just open up as much, possibly not as little as you want it to. I think that it is fun. It would be another one that's great for New Year's. My daughter said that I could do Kung Fu in it. The problem is that I don't know how to do Kung Fu. I do think that the arms are a lot of fun. If you're going to somewhere that is just a neat party out with your friends, this is awesome. It is definitely has some rainbow vibes. I don't know why I really thought that it was black. I mean, the base is black, but it has a lot of color to it. Okay, next is my burgundy. This was another one that had a lot of cost variations. I've seen it from 35 all the way up to 48, but this one is very nicely lined. It's got some interesting little sleeve jobbies that we're gonna have to see how that goes. And yeah, let's try it. Okay, this already gets bonus points because of the color. But the sleeves, y'all, I am not sure what to do with them. Like, so I started out like this, right? To where it's kind of functioning as a sleeve because it's sewn right here on the shoulder, right? So it really could almost go forward or backwards. So I mean, you don't want your arm to go absolutely through them, but if you have it go backwards, that's kind of the way that my husband thinks that it should go, almost like it's a cape. But my daughter says that it kind of reminds her of like a beetle wing. She loves bugs, so it's kind of a compliment. And then I kind of think that we should put wire in it and make it a fun, like avant-garde look. But I would like to know what you think we should do. Should they go back? I kind of like the arm covering properties of it being forward. I'm totally used to my arms being exposed now, but I used to not ever want them to be showing. I do like the color. I like that we got the surplice top. Now, there is kind of like a rogue bra cup in here. I had to do a whole lot of moving, and it really feels almost like pool foam. Like a fanoodle, you know what I'm talking about? Like that, in the event that, I don't know, it's not saving my life, too small. It's got a very nice little modest slit that's just above my knee, and here it is. We've got 3 to go. Next is the yellow one shoulder. There was something about it that almost reminded me of the flapper era. It was just the actual beading on it, and it really doesn't in person. I don't know what I was thinking, but it is yellow, which is not often my color, and that's okay. I wanted to try a few different silhouettes. This one is a little bit more body contouring, and I know that I've got an apple body that's not necessarily my best silhouette, and this one pushes us into the $40 range, so we're gonna see how it goes. I'm not actually in love, but I'm feeling a little tender curiosity. This one is a little too body contouring, and the slit is a bit too high for my comfort, though. My daughter and I just argued about it. She loves the high slit. I would personally have to sew it down a little bit. It is practically crotch height. It does totally give me Great Gatsby vibes. I didn't see it whenever I took it out. It's funny, I saw it on the model, and then I took it out of the bag, and I'm like, no, I actually don't see it. I see it on. It needed to be on the human form to see her. This one is also really nice and long. It is fully lined. The side that does have a shoulder is a nice thick gathered shoulder, and I kind of like that. When I first put it on though, it was pulling really hard here. That seems to have kind of alleviated. I don't really mind like the décolletage showing. It's not an area that I'm super self-conscious of, but there is one whole arm hanging out. I would have to decide before the party that I'm totally comfortable with my arms, which is totally dependent upon the crowd. Next we have gold puff sleeve. I thought that this one looked very put together. These last ones, y'all, I've seen them in the high 30s to mid 40s. So I really was interested in this because it has that draping in the center, and then it kind of has some puff sleeves. I like the structure of it, and I hope that it's not too body contouring. Let's see. Okay, this one feels incredibly high-end to me, and I blend right in with the champagne color. I mean, if it had a tinge of pink, you could call this color Meredith. But I think that it's got some lovely details. It does feel the most high-end to me. It's got some really nice gathering that's all done very well in all the places. We've got it under the bust. We have this, we've got the straight down, we have these little gathers here. There are some really pretty balloon sleeves. Now, with all of that gathering does come at a price though. You know, I'm plus size, I've got an apple body. I try to do things that don't necessarily disguise my midsection, but things that don't accentuate. And maybe that's kind of a contradiction, but that's what I'm looking for. And I feel like these little areas where it's gathered don't do me any favors. Though I do think it's a beautiful dress, and I would not be opposed to wearing this out. I don't know, I really, really want to like this dress. In fact, I will say that I've been happy with all of them. And then this one is the most modest so far. There's no slit, there's no peekaboo hole, and like no crazy low drops. So it definitely has a place with that as well. Under $50, and this looks like you got it at a department store. It looks like you could have purchased it at a boutique. Very last one, which is unbelievable. The last one is my gray high-low. I'm kind of honestly shocked that this is the most expensive, but I thought that this one was very similar to the green, but it looked super attractive on the model. So we're gonna check it out and see how it looks on plain on me. Okay, I don't know that I saved the best for last. This one though is very elegant. To quote the people in my home, it is also fine. I mean, it's nice. And that's really not what I'm going for. You know, it has a lot of nice little details that I think, but it is very plain. It does feel incredibly mother of the bride. It has a really pretty neckline, the off the shoulder sleeves. It's got some gathering over here, and then it has the ruffle going down. The slit is above the knee, but it still feels pretty demure. It's also pretty body contouring. My daughter also thinks it's the least fun of the bunch. I don't know, I think the green might be less fun. I think that this one looks very nice. You know, there are places that you couldn't wear the disco Nefertiti one, where you absolutely could wear this. And I would challenge that almost anywhere you could wear that, you could wear this and you just wouldn't get any compliments. But I really feel like you need to wear what suits you best and what makes you happy, because I really feel like 90% of being beautiful and confident is feeling beautiful and confident. So what we feel on the inside is what other people see. And I 100% stand by that.
Anthony Mayer and my fluffy assistant here. I just wanted to touch base and talk about payment options. If I am checking out online anywhere, pretty much aside from Amazon, then I'm gonna try and use some like third-party intermediary just to give me a little added protection. When I checked out my own little order from TEMU, I was sure to pay through PayPal, which is what I would recommend. They also have a few other options, and this isn't just for TEMU. If I'm doing, like I said, pretty much anything but Amazon, this is the way that I'm going.
I completely think that we showed that you can get a nice dress on TEMU on the cheap. Now, I don't think that any of these compare to like a custom-made, tailored to your measurements dress, but that's also not what we were going for. Okay, so there were a lot of great dresses to choose from. I don't even know how I would pick a favorite, but in the same breath, I'm gonna ask you two, if y'all would let me know what you think, I would love it. And on that note, commenting and liking this video really helps out me and my channel. If you enjoy this kind of content or like plus size fashion in general, I would love it if you would join me. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.